Turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are. Here I am to explain, to teach, and create again. Um, Thank you for showing up. And as always, I'm going to try to do this as best I can. I was working on a few things, and of course, you can see in the title it says more buttons. Uh, and what I've done is I've altered a pair of needle nose pliers. Let me see if I can. Of course, when you want them, are they right here? No, yeah, actually they are. I got a pair of needle nose pliers uh, and heated them up with my torch little by little. I wasn't trying to and really fight it, but I came up with and heated a little bit and bent a little bit and heated a little, bent it a little bit, and came up with a pair of. This is basically to make buttonholes with what I already know to what I already want to do. So it's pretty interesting. And again, after all said and done, I actually heated it up really, really nice and quenched it a couple of times in just water, which it's probably still a little on the brittle side, but at least I tried to anneal it a little bit so that it won't fall apart on me as easily. But with that said, I also have, oh, hello, Paula. Hello, Amber. Nice to see that a few people are there. Brian's over at Zayland, so that's where he's at today. Yeah, Amber just asked me that question the second before I saw it. So that's that story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, um, again, it's about more buttons, but this is going to be basically showing off this new tool. And I've also been talking with somebody and found out that my videos are getting a little long, and uh, I'm going to go to a little known fact of KISS. Keep it simple. That way, uh, really quick, really easy. Couple of quick tips. Then I'll get to another video maybe a little later instead of just that one. Continuous, continuous, one thing after another. Okay. With that said, and if you have a request, I'm going to do about a half-hour show instead of an hour show. So you might want to try to get the request in ASAP. So with that said, let's go ahead. And I'm glad that people are showing up really quick, which is good. What is it about when you start doing glass work? You just get the itches in the weirdest places. Uh, and you can't quite get to it sometimes. So let's go ahead and change the camera angle to, of course, what you really want to see is the flame. Who cares about that ugly looking mug of mine, right? Right. But this is going to be basically a couple of quick buttons. And or hello, Beth. Nice to see you here. I'm glad to know that I'm getting a few that people are seeing my quick announcement that I am getting on really quick. I'm sorry that I have not been doing any shows. I've been working the last 3 or 4 days, but I plan on trying to do one tomorrow and also the next day. So I know it's either feast or famine, right? Right. But sometimes into each life, there we go. Sometimes I got to remember where the oxygen levels are on, or the valves are on my torch. Right now I'm only using the 10 liter per minute. Sorry to hear about that, Amber. Sakai died last night. I'm sorry to hear about that. I know that some of the circumstances, so maybe it'll get better. Well, it'll get better. Well, you got those two big ones that I got, so eventually you'll get a chance to see those, right? Right. Okay, what I'm doing again is making the Maria, and you know what I haven't done yet is actually gotten some dichro out to do the button with. So, and it just so happens I have a piece sitting right here. Again, film side up, you want to make sure that the reflection is right to the edge. And if you can see the edges around the outside edge, then that's film side down. So make sure you put the film side up, set it down, and then again, heat it up. Make sure it's about the size if you want it, like so. And then heat up the bottom and press it in. Okay, there we go. Warm it in. Now I'm going to add some more color to the bottom of that. I got this one right here, and it's probably exotic. Yeah, it's an exotic color, but it's a dark color, so we'll use it anyway. It just happened to be on the bench. And again, I usually heat up and add the color right to the bottom of the dichro and not to the clear area around it. The reason being is that when you press out the dichro a little bit and rearrange the clear, that the dichro becomes the bottom of the thing and not just the color. But sometimes it still does that anyway. But this is a way of, I don't know if you can see that on my torch or not. I'm a little off. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, it's one of the exotic, probably blue exotic or something like. The reason I'm doing this is to bring up as I pressed it in, the tab got, or the glass got a little rounded up and into the middle of the punche. Let's see how this works. Now I'm going to go ahead and, sorry about the wind, but I needed to, my fan is behind me at this point, and you'll hear it from time to time, but got to keep cool in this nice July weather we're having. Nip it off, and I replace it to the side so I can flatten all of this up, make it look good. Now I'm going to flatten this as best I can to a nice round disc, and this time I'm only going to do a 2-hole button, but now with this little hole puncher, I'm going to try to get to a 4-hole button eventually, but not today, I think. But I am going to get into doing 4-hole buttons and stuff like that. This is going to be a big button, of course. That's just me. There we go. And it's fairly nice when you're using this new buttonhole thingy type deal. Watch this. Let me rearrange it so it's just a nice single hot flame. I request a koi. Yeah, you would. Give me a little while on that one. And when you punch in, you punch, and as you do that, you spin it back and forth, and that makes a hole, and that hole went in so much easier than that last one that I did. And you'll see what I'm talking about because it went all the way through, and you got one nice little hole instead of it taking 2 minutes or 3 minutes the last time for each hole. As you can see, all I have to do is heat in one spot, press back and forth, lock it, and spin it back and like so, and you got another buttonhole. And it goes all the way through without as much trauma in the glass either. So that's pretty darn cool, I think. That's a bigger button, but I'm going to actually make out a shirt here in a couple of days, well, within a week or so, and put some of these buttons that I've been making on it to see how they look. And I think that it's a new phase for me. I've always wanted to make enough to do an Aloha shirt and stuff. So this will be a good objective to start with and do with. Don't you think? Okay. One button down. And those buttonholes, again, boom, it was sweet. And that's a bigger button. Next one I'm going to do, it's going to be smaller, and I'm going to get to the point where they just sort of boom, boom, boom. I'm whoop, where'd that sucker go? Of course it bounced. Where did it bounce to? I'll have to find it after a little bit. Oh well. Oh, there it is. I found it. Yay! And it bounced again. I'm graceful today, aren't I? It has a nice dichro shine on the back of it, and the quicker you do it, and the less stress you put in the flame itself, or whatever. I think that's part of a boom, 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 and then throw it in the oven. That's a cool thing. All those nail biters. Okay, tap, fire polish off. And I'm going to do button number 2. This time I'm going to use a little bit different color and a little bit different design going on. Let's do a red button, a red exotic in the back for the base color. Why not? Most shirts and stuff. Oh, here we go. Piece of red exotic chunk sitting right here on my bench. You know me, I don't like to throw anything away. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to, all right, Graceful. I'm in good shape today. I got the dropsies. You can see that. And I'm going to turn this into a round and then turn it into a button. Actually, I could probably make this into 2 smaller buttons. Let's see what we can do. Yeah. With this nice little cutting device that I have, we'll cut it in 2 and then make 2 little round buttons out of it really, really quick. Sound like fun? And again, if you have a request for a show or whatever, you know my email address, and you also know Melting Memories, which will be in the bottom uh, in the information box below. And from that, you can talk to me, and or if you're interested in some of these buttons, or if you have some like I said, ideas for a show, talk to me. That's what I'm here for. And I know that I've gotten a lot of ideas, and I've gotten a lot of inspiration from you guys. So help me out here. And again, I'm going to start trying to do shorter shows, but more shows. Like I might do one, and then I might turn it down, and then go into another show almost immediately. So that would be, can I request a big dragon for my new room? Yeah, why not? I'll do something that'll be a pretty cool deal. I don't know if you ever remember seeing. No, you don't. Never mind. But I have done, and I'll try to get a video picture of it. I don't have access to it at the moment, but my mother has in her house one of my biggest pieces that I ever did. But it was a lace. It was a flat lace that it actually stands about, I'd say about 8, almost 12 inches to 14 inches tall. I couldn't tell you for sure, but through that, it's just a. If you look at it one way, you can see the image of the unicorn. You look at it another way, it looks like one glass line. And I'll show you what I'm talking about there. Um, I don't have access to it at the moment, or I would really show you. Again, when I do this, I'm sort of pressing and spinning, and as I do that, it goes right through the glass. I really do like my new. I just had the idea for this hole puncher, and it is phenomenal. It's pretty nice. And all it did was, again, I just eased the metal of the glass, or the metal puncher so that it went in the right direction, and then I quenched it so to make it a little bit more usable down the road. Quick red exotic button. Boom, boom, and boom. Make the holes more uniformal. There we go. Nip that one off and do one more. And again, I'll try to next day or two show you that. Yeah, tomorrow even. I have to. We'll see how that goes. And I'll show you a picture of that unicorn that I'm talking about, and maybe come up with a dragon design very similar to it. And I'll probably have to scale up. I'll do a smaller version of it and then do a bigger version of it. And it's a step in the right direction anyway. Okay, that's the one red button. Let's take this other piece of red exotic here and make it into another button. If I can get a hold of it. But again, it's basically a lace looking thing. The design is fairly simple. It's something I did many, many, many years ago, probably 5 or 6 years into me doing glass, 1982. So you can figure that one out. But it was something that I came and said, I can't make it big and wide and thick, so I'll make it thin, tall, and beautiful. And it worked out real well. And tomorrow I'll do a show on something very similar to it, just to and show off that video. Sound like a plan? Make this a little bit more on the round side. And I think I'm also going to get a button sizer type thing, or a disc that I can just look at it and say, yep, that's a good round size. But I'm also going to be doing some odd buttons, some oblong buttons, some animal buttons like I did before, and see how they come out. Okay? We'll see how that goes. I'm so used to doing so many long shows, but like I say, I'm going to try to keep this simple. And one more button with this new little. It's just a pair of needle nose pliers, and heated and stretched and pulled. You could probably go down to the dollar store or whatever, and even a pair of tweezers doing the same exact. Needle nose tweezers would probably be a little bit simpler to do instead of the pliers to hold the shape. Just something. These holes really come out uniformal and quick instead of all the trauma that I did the last time. See there, I can even round it out a little bit. Pretty cool. Yeah, I know. The most ironic thing somebody says to a glass blower. Cool, right? But you know what? It has so much meaning behind that word cool, even though you're working with hot material. I'm going to try to round that button out a little bit better. Hey, might even add some lace and filigree to it. Let's see what we can do. This will be test button number 5. I say that. You'll see what I'm talking about very, very quickly. It's all dealing with the designs and stuff. Okay, I'm going to put a punte right in the middle of this, like so. Now, who says a button has to be completely round with holes that go like everybody else? Okay, let me see. We'll use this thing. I wish I had a pair of tweezers handy. Of course, when you want them, they are never, ever, ever, ever around. So we'll use this. This will give it good texture. Pair, a pair of wire cutters. Ready? And it's just going to add some texture to the outside edge. Ready for this? Pinch, 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 pinch. Pinch, 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 and go all the way around it. And I could probably see a couple of flower looking buttons. And again, just adding texture to the button. And you know, you could add design and stuff like that too. Let's make sure these holes are still pretty applicable. In other words, still a good, nice little hole. Look like that's a good deal here. Okay. Tap that off. And with that, I am going to call it. Oh, it got a little bit more. Oh, there it went. Of course, when you want something to work. All right. There. A little bit of forcefulness, and it could have probably broken, but we're going with it. Oh, come. We're going to go with it anyway. Tapped off that. Now it doesn't want to play with me. Saying, no, you beat me up. I got it. I don't want it. Okay. Fire polish where I had the cold weld. And that button's done. Pretty interesting to say the least. That's the whole thing about buttons, to make them curious looking and different, right? Right. So, 4-leaf clover button. Yes, 4-leaf clover. Who says a button has to be round? As long as it does the job of holding the shirt on you, you're good to go. Or your pants even. I mean, gee whiz. Or even just decorative on the top of a, a lacy shirt or something. Just something different. Maybe I might start a trend that nobody has thought about before, right? As I live and breathe, I did get some stress in that first one without putting it in the oven. Darn. But let's see what I can do about fixing that real quick. I know I said I got to go, but you know me, I hate leaving something bad off. So, oh, it broke even worse. It is causing a lot of stress, and I haven't been flaming it out either. Flame them out, put it together. Sorry about that, folks. With that, I'm going to call it quits, but I will do another show probably tomorrow. And thank you for being there. So again, as you saw, what I did do, and putting it in the oven makes a big difference. In my oven, with my electric that I've got going out here, it would probably go poof. So we'll live with that. Thanks for being there. Carpe Vitro. Hey, you know what? Also, my last saying, enjoy the day. I've actually heard more people telling me since I've started saying enjoy the day. I don't know if it's because of what I've said and it's sort of virally spread to other people, but I've actually heard people saying enjoy your day, or have a have a enjoyable day, or whatever. But in other words, having the word enjoy in it. I before I started saying it over a year ago, I don't remember hearing people say enjoy your day. I could be wrong, but tell me in the comments, and if you've heard other people say enjoy. Thank you. Uh, love you guys out there. Thank you for being there. And we couldn't be there without you. Oh, by the way, guess what? I've reached over 600 subscribers. Yay! And yes, I'll do a drawing. I haven't done it. Give me another couple of days and I'll come up with something and we'll go from there. Maybe a set of buttons for a shirt or something. Who knows? Again, let me get to the other thing real quick. Say goodbye. Goodbye! That's my best Mickey Mouse. Hello, folks. Ha, ha. I'm Mickey Mouse. Right. Who knew? Did it a long time ago. That was one of my favorite sayings. I might be getting higher quality. I'm talking about putting 5 wire from my house to my shed and see how that works. So, something to look forward to. Thanks for being there, guys. Yes, you can help with the drawing, Amber, as always. Carpe vitro, and again, enjoy your day. Thank you.